Hi everyone, welcome to the video. So as you saw by the title, I'm going to be listening to the Beatles for the very first time, also known as the White Album. Now I've looked at the track listing and this is a hefty one, so I think this will be a two-part video. This will be the first part, and then I think I will also make a video ranking my favorite songs off this entire album and doing a little analysis of some of my favorite ones as I go for that video. But for this one, I'm going to react, make some commentary along the way, point out some things I enjoy. If you're new here, I didn't grow up listening to the Beatles, so I'm listening to them chronologically in order. Some songs I do know, so I point that out while I listen. But yeah, otherwise I hope you have a great time and let's get to it. So the first song is Back in the USSR, lead vocals by McCartney. Let's get to it. This is definitely an airport sound, right? I got it wrong on the other one. These are definitely airport sounds. Oh, that's a brother. Oh, I love the vibrato of that. Oh, we're getting the Elvis vibes from this. Very Beach Boys, right? The piano is very prevalent in this one.
In the USSR.
Nice dropout with just the percussion to keep going. Hey, I like that percussion element. Sounds like a glass. They're landing in the USSR, I'm guessing, like that's what that's like. Okay. To me that sounded a little bit like Elvis-like, just the way in the vocals, especially like the vibrato, it sounded a bit Elvis-like to me. The piano was really prevalent. I feel like it hasn't been used in such a rock way in the previous album, the Magical Mystery Tour. Like I know in the Full on the Hill they had it, but it was more ballady, where this was like full on quite rock, upbeat. I feel like they typically do that. The first song on the album was quite upbeat, get the audience going. It definitely was an aeroplane, right? In the previous one I thought it was an aeroplane for the Magical Mystery Tour and I was like, no, it's a bus. Musically, the thing that stood out to me the most was actually the use of the hand claps, because when they were stripped away it wasn't too noticeable. However, when they were reintroduced, that high frequency energy like kept the song going. It's funny that that's what I noticed the most, but the hand claps are what stood out to me, which is quite funny. Subject matter, do I dare to go there? I don't know, I'm a bit scared. So the next one is Dear Prudence, song by main vocals by John Lennon, which for some reason gives me some Jane Austen vibes. I don't know why, it must be the name Prudence, I don't know. Okay, Dear Prudence. Also the airplane sound kind of continues. It's very atmospheric, the acoustic guitar. Dear Prudence. Bass. That bass is very like boom. I like the bass. Strips it all away. I like that percussion, the odd one. Is that a bell sound? Prudence. A nice mixture of acoustic and electric guitar there. Round, 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 round. Sorry. Try not to say this too much because I'd probably say it in every damn video. Probably know what I'm gonna say by this point already. However, when you have all these instruments like the electric guitar, the acoustic, the percussion, the odd percussive choice, all the harmonies, then all strips down to just the acoustic, it like sucks you back in. The whole contrast of having something loud and soft, yada yada, you know what I'm about to say. Yeah, it's just really, when it all drops down just to the simplicity of the acoustic guitar, it kind of like calms you and brings you down again. I don't know, I enjoy that feeling. Like that. cymbals because we're adding more energy. Is that a woodwind? I've also mentioned this before, but that harmony, it was basically like a drone. When I say drone, I mean a note that just sustains for a long period of time and doesn't change. When you have a drone, the movement, the melodic movement, whether that be in the bass or the vocals or in another instrument, atmosphere is really greatly affected. Like if you're a songwriter, just play around of having a drone and then a melody over it and then having that same melody over a chord progression. The mood is very different, and I just wanted to point that out. Oh, I'm a sucker for guitar. It's just so beautiful. This one is called Glass Onion, lead vocals by John Lennon. Now, onion is something that the more you peel it apart makes people cry. So I'm guessing a glass onion is someone who has so many layers but you can't get to because it's like glass. So if you want to delve into that person's psyche, you need to break it like glass. Wow, we know I'm gonna be wrong about that, right?
I told you about strawberry fields.
Ooh.
Nothing is real.
Yeah.
Where everything flows. See how the ill have lived. War is a mean man.
Now they're referencing all their favorite songs. Love it. Those strings, I love it. These drums are really energetic. I really like them. That sounds so James Bond.
You got the fool on the hill.
I love that they're referencing all their songs. Onion. I think it's a... So that really low bass pizzicato pluck 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 is on the contrabass, which is like that. It's the depth and the warmth of it is so in your face. But yeah, that section in the middle just sounded incredibly James Bond to me in first listen. The next one is Obladi Oblada. Obladi Oblada? Is that how I say it? Now, on Spotify, it has 150 million streams and it has the most out of the previous songs, so I'm guessing that this is quite a popular one. Boom, boom. Oh, it stopped. One thing I'm noticing, not always about McCartney's melodies, but this sounds like a melody I know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I don't know this song, but the arrangement of the instruments, just the vibe of it, you're like, oh, it sounds like a melody I know. Do you know what I mean? There are some songs you hear and you know it's the first time you've heard them, but it sounds so familiar, like it's always existed. Oh, blah, da. It does go on, doesn't it? It's nice because that harmony la 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 obviously isn't in the first chorus, so when it comes into this section it continues into la 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 goes on, so it's like an added harmony to that bit. It's just like a nice gradual way they've added it and I liked it. I love all the little percussive sounds they use that are not typical. I guess so. Such a joyful song, and then the brass sounds so happy as well. A nice counter melodies, keep it going. The piano there, the piano there is so effective because a lot of it, that bass is, for me at least, very prominent in these headphones, and just having a kind of clear, crisp piano just gives your ear a little bit of like, oh, a rejuvenation. I don't know, I just enjoyed that section. I mean, I know this isn't something they've been doing new, but using orchestral instruments, like adding brass and kind of like popular music isn't, you know, you don't get to hear that much so much anymore. And as someone who really enjoys, you know, the use of those instruments, it's just nice. It just adds so much joy and element, and it creates that atmosphere that, you know, you can't get otherwise. Like the way a brass can add energy and excitement and importance to you know, to a song. I don't know, it's nice. I'm vibing to these songs. Oh bloody, oh blah blah, life goes on. This song is called Wild Honey Pie, lead vocals by McCartney, and it's 52 seconds long. Okay, I have a chance to guess what it is. Is it gonna be a reference to A Taste of Honey? No. I reckon it's gonna be like a very short love sonnet song. I actually really like these weird sound effects. I'm just like, what genre is this? I have no idea what the story is behind that. Wild Honey Pie. Honey Pie! The continuing story of Bungalow Bill, Lennon with Yoko Ono. Was this controversial to have someone else sing on the Beatles album, like especially like Lennon's partner? I do intend to watch, as I mentioned, the Get Back documentary, and I think it dispels some of the circumstances surrounding them and their relationship. I think. Ooh.
Hey, Bungalow Bill, Bungalow Bill, hey, Bungalow Bill. Now I go hunting with his elephant and gun. Accidents, he always took his mom.
Sounds like a song for a Western film.
Hey,
Bungalow Bill.
Bungalow Bill. Deep in the jungle,
Complete change.
Bill and his elephants.
The backing vocals there are so subtle, like ooh, like adding such nice atmosphere. Bungalow Bill. Dum, dum. That's just a neat bass.
He looked so fierce.
His mommy petted him. All the children sing. Hey,
Bungalow Bill. What is that instrument? Oh, it goes straight into the next one. Okay, hold on. It says in here it's an organ, so that was a very interesting song choice. That was fun. Hey, Bungalow Bill. Like, that was just fun. Oh, and in Bungalow Bill, I really like just the tempo change and then like having the kick drum, like just having everything stripped down, having the kick drum and then introducing this really chorus of people singing. That's so fun. I think that was just a really effective way to add some energy. So the next one is While My Guitar Gently Weeps, George Harrison. I'm pretty sure I listened to this the other week because I had my Spotify on listening to the Beatles, and if you're like me and you don't have premium, it kind of shuffles through random songs sometimes, and I saw that was George Harrison, but I just listened to it because I thought it was like on his as a single artist. But no, it's on the Beatles album, so I'm gonna listen to it again. It's so nice having descending bass line.
at you. Like a doll, gently weeps.
Oh, it's really like this.
And I see it needs sweet.
Oh, I like this a lot.
I don't know why nobody told you. Someone controlled you.
I'm sorry, I'm just so absorbed in this one. I'm a big fan of kind of 80s prog rock, and this sort of sounds like this potentially was maybe something that these 80s musicians were inspired by. Like, this is a vibe. I know that makes me sound like an idiot, but this is a vibe. It sounds amazing. It's like, as I mentioned at the start, you have this descending bass and the piano kind of just sits around, it doesn't move, and then it adds some melodic movement, and then you have him do these vocals that I feel like I haven't really heard him done before, like use his head voice. I feel like he hasn't done too much of that, so it's really nice to hear that. He's got a stunning voice, and you know, the song's rhythm doesn't change too much, so to add like the interesting element, that they have this percussive like, you know, it's just that little light bit of energy and different rhythm that like doesn't make the song stagnate, you know? Can you tell I like this one? These harmonies.
My guitar gently weeps. We must surely be learning.
Oh, the guitar is just so gets into your soul.
I don't know.
That's a beautiful section. This is so good. It's like a whistling sound there. I freaking love it. So what I'm about to say I totally mean as a compliment, and I don't mean this to be bad on the other songs of this album, but this, like with the gift of hindsight, this song sounds like the future. Like, when was this released? 69? It says that it was released in 1968, and that sounds like the 80s right there, and that's like far out. That's like so ahead of its time, like compared to the other songs just from this album. Like, that makes me go, wow, that was like probably a very new vibe at the time. I could be wrong. You who lived through it can let me know. Happiness is a warm gun. Lead vocals by John Lennon. There's so much to unpack in that title.
A girl who misses much. She's well acquainted with the touch of the velvet handle pain. The man in the crowd with the multicolored, a soap impression of his wife, which he ate and donated to the National Trust. I need a fix 'cause I'm going down. I need a fix 'cause I'm going down. Superior jump the gun. Mother Superior jump. Mother Superior jump the gun. Happiness is a warm gun. Happiness.
There's a lot occurring in this song. So first off, I think it's the perfect continuation in terms of mood from while my guitar gently weeps. In terms of just like sonically, it seems to carry on very well. The arpeggio of the guitar sounds very mysterious, and then you have, I think it sounds like the other guitar's like brr, brr, just adding the harmonic information just to add that energy on. Okay, so I'm just looking at the sheet music I've got here, and apparently the time signature goes from 9/8 to 10/8. I'm really terrible at time signatures. I know it's like really easy, but my brain struggles to comprehend it sometimes. There's some really deep backing vocals. Cool. Nice vocals. I feel like he's really singing quite differently to how he usually does, which is nice to hear. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. So this one is Martha My Dear, lead vocals by McCartney. Now this first side one was very upbeat, rock oriented in my opinion. I'm guessing if side 2 is more like the ballady side, and with Martha My Dear I feel like I could be right in guessing that this is more ballad. It's by McCartney. I feel like all signs point to yes, it's a ballad. It's got a piano.
Martha, my dear, though I spend my days in conversation, don't forget me, Martha, my dear. Hold your head up, you say, find yourself in the thick of it. What is all around you?
All around you.
Silly girl, take a good look
Around you. Bom, 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 bom. That's just in the face. I love brass. It makes me so happy the way they're using it.
Martha, my dear, you
Okay, sort of alternates between 2/4 and 3/4. I was gonna say, I swear I was counting 2/4 in some places. So 3/4 dun da da dun da da usually keeps the song moving, and then 1 2 1 2, so it keeps like that energy. So I feel like the alternation of those time signatures really kept that song kind of, for me at least on first listen, quite unpredictable but enjoyable at the same time. Okay, so I was kind of close that like that it was a ballad as in the subject matter, not so much the sound of it. But anyway, next one is I'm So Tired. Aren't we all, John Lennon? Aren't we all?
So tired, my mind is on the blink. I'll fix myself a drink. So tired, my mind is. Oh, yeah, but I know what you would do. Putting you on is no joke. It's doing me harm. I've got a little piece of mind. I'm so
Tired. And the way he's singing it sounds like the subject matter and the treatment of his vocals as well. And as his vocals go harder, so does the instrumentation.
I'm going insane, you know I give you everything I've got a little piece of mind.
Oh, I feel like obviously this makes sense, but the more they progress and more as time passes, the more they are better at their craft. I feel like they're more confident in their vocals. And like John Lennon, the way he's playing around with his vocals, like even in Happiness Is a Warm Gun, I felt like he was kind of putting on a character, and they really seem to be playing around and more comfortable using their head voice and chest voice, and yeah, that's cool. Blackbird by Paul McCartney. I freaking love this song. I love it. I know it. I love it. Just love it so much.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
And you got like this click keeping the rhythm.
All your life for this moment to arise. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Into the light of a dark black night.
It's just so simple. It's just a guitar and him and a click. The art of simplicity is not easily done. And then they just like slows down for a minute, and then they're like, let's begin.
You were only waiting for this moment to arrive.
What a beautiful bird they recorded there. It's just a beautiful song. I just love it. I have nothing of value to add other than that. So the next song is Piggies, sung by George Harrison.
Have you seen the little piggies crawling in the dark? His life is getting worse.
Oh no!
Always having done.
Was this a song for children?
White shirt. You will find
It's funny because the subject matter, he's singing about piggies. I'm guessing it's a metaphor for something that I don't quite know yet. But then you have these beautiful strings like, which almost sound like a wedding march, and it's just like the contrast of having serious strings with quite a funny subject matter. It's entertaining to me. Oh. This is about someone, isn't it? One more time, mate. It's about greed. Okay, yeah. Honestly, don't have too much layers to add to that one. Rocky Raccoon. Okay, so we had a Blackbird, we got Piggies, we got Rocky Raccoon. Rocky Raccoon. I don't know. It's by Paul McCartney. Lead vocals.
In the black-minded hills of Dakota, there lived a young boy named Rocky. One day his woman ran off with another guy. Broken himself a room in the local saloon.
I'm just, my thought process right now is I cannot imagine any like serious artist that's doing incredibly successfully, like releasing a song where they're like singing in character. Like the confidence for that. Do you know what I mean? Do you think modern day audiences would be accepting? Like imagine Adele or Billie Eilish or Ed Sheeran came out and were like singing in it. I don't know how that would go down these days.
Rocky Raccoon
Rocky Raccoon.
checked into his room to find Gideon's Bible. He had come
Okay, why is this pretty though?
equipped with a gun
Oh, far out.
to the legs of his rival.
Oh. Why is this pretty?
Had broken his dream by stealing her man who called himself Dan.
Harmonica, we haven't had that in a while.
He burst in. Daddy boy, this
Daddy boy.
is a showdown. Rocky collapsed in the corner.
Oh no, Rocky! Oh, now we're celebrating the Rocky's down. This is a weirdly beautiful melody.
Rocky said, "Doc, it's only a scratch."
Only a sky, that's good.
Good Rocky's revival.
Revival, not one. I love it! Wow, who would have thought I liked this? Oh, I love Wow, I gotta tell you, when I was reading the title of the song as Rocky Raccoon, I did not think I would like it. Because it starts off kind of comical and you're like, okay, ha ha. But then the bloody melody! As I mentioned at the start of this video, I want to do a video where I rank my favorite songs in order throughout the White Album and then analyze some of the things that I really enjoyed, and I think this might be one that I go further in depth. I really liked it. Okay. This one is called Don't Pass Me By, Ringo Starr, and in brackets it's got Richard Starkey.
Listen for your footsteps coming up the tube, but I'm by myself. I wonder, does it mean you don't
Love me anymore. Fiddle.
Don't pass
Sounds
me
like
by, don't make me cry, don't make me blue. No, darling, I love only you. Hate to see you go, don't pass
I like
me
the
by.
percussion. What is that? It's not a cowbell. I want to make you cry.
I'm sorry that's so unfair. You were in a car crash. Said that you would be late about an hour or two.
From you.
Don't make me cry, don't make me blue. Hit me so. I hate to see you go. Don't pass me by. Don't make me cry.
The keys, it sounds like just doing this rhythm which keeps it moving. I'm a little surprised that they did a lot at the beginning.
Don't pass me by, don't make
I love that they're just doing whatever genre, and I love that it feels like each of the Beatles like, hey, I kind of want to do more of this, I want to kind of do more of this, and they seemed, from what I'm hearing, very accepting of each other, of what each other wanted to do, and I just love that. It's so cool. The next one is Why Don't We Do It in the Road. My mind is not thinking inappropriate things right now. Only a minute 40, so I'm guessing it's going to be a short rock song. Like, start with a chorus, catchy, kind of some sort of bridge, chorus, because it's quite short. That's my guess. We'll see.
Why don't we do it in the road?
Oh.
Why don't we do it in the road?
It's not McCartney.
Why don't we do it in the road?
It's a great question. I don't know.
Do it in the road. Why don't we do it?
Shakespeare's been asking that since the time. I don't know. Did Paul McCartney ever get his answer? I was right though, like, I'm sorry. Towards the end of my chronological album listening, I finally got one right! Wow! Okay, the next one is I Will. Lead vocals by Paul McCartney. Again, a short song. I just heard like 2 seconds of it, or 1 second, and it sounds ballady.
Who knows how long I've loved you? Will I wait a lonely lifetime? I will.
It's just so simple and so sweet.
Didn't catch your name, but it never reached. Love you forever and forever. Whenever we're together, must I find you.
That's sweet.
Song I will.
I really like how they have hums and la-di-das in a lot of their songs. And then nice percussive bom bom at the end. Yeah, that was simple. As you all know, I think I'm a sucker for Paul McCartney songs. They're just like so beautiful and simple, and to lyrically put something across that's so plain that it seems effortless, but it's like so... The last one for today's video is Julia. I think I saw that it said John Lennon. Julia, John Lennon. I'm guessing this is going to be now John Lennon's love ballad vibe song.
Half of what I say is meaningless,
Oof, far out.
but I say it just Julia. Julia calls me, so I sing the song. Seashell eyes, windy smile.
Is that a minor key there?
Shimmering in the sun. Touch me, so I sing the song.
Julia.
Calls me,
Oh, what is that?
so I sing the song.
That calls me. So it looks like they've in the sheet music it's got basically G major to G minor, so it has that third movement, that half step down, which creates that. What a body of work, this album. Like, that's like, so, wow. Okay, so I've listened to half of it. This is going to be the end of video 1. You can watch the next video 2, and then I'll make a third video maybe a week or 2 after this, ranking everything. So I'm going to have a little bit of a break, and then I'm going to listen to the rest of the album. I'm loving it so far. That'll probably have a little bit more of my conclusions as well. Yeah, let's go watch the next one together.